Welcome back to TYTSports, everybody. Jason and Barney, the purple dinosaur, to my right. No? No?
I don't even think that gets a plus number out of 10. I think you're in the minus category with that joke.
But you look like Barney, the friendly dinosaur.
It's like saying you've got a blue, and here's Jason who's a Smurf because he's wearing a blue shirt.
So that's funny.
Jay, that's a negative point for you. Jason's at
Jason's
-1,
been
Griffin's at
dishing out points
-1.
to all the producers and all the.
Francis is at 0.
Griffin's so happy. He's starting to get
I'm at -1, but I started at -4. All right, I'm moving up.
How does your own medicine taste, Jason? How does it taste? Does it taste as bad as that joke?
Not only was it a terrible joke, that's a lovely sweater, Francis.
Thank you, Ja'Cory.
You suck up.
It's gonna.
Lovely.
We like this
be
color.
caught dead wearing that. All right, off to the clip itself. So Australian rules women's league football. Mm-hmm. No pads.
No pads.
They hit hard.
They hit hard.
It's pretty entertaining.
It's pretty and entertaining, or pretty
entertaining.
Yeah, it's pretty entertaining.
We had a contributor, Charlotte Peloza, who sent in a video. She wanted to call attention to this being done in Australia and to give a news break on it. So we're going to throw to that video in just a second, just some more context for this. And as she points out, 24,000 fans packed out Carlton's traditional home, which is the stadium, on Friday night as the Blues, and this is about 2 weeks ago, powered to and I don't understand what this means, 46-11 victory, but 7.4 to 1.5. You're looking at me. I thought maybe you'd have an answer. Regardless, she did a fantastic job. Here's Charlotte Peloza kind of giving you a good 2-minute news break as to why this was important and where it stood up next to the men's league in terms of viewership and attendance.
Hi, my name is Charlotte and I live in Melbourne, Australia. This past weekend we had a historic first ever women's match of the start of the season for the Women's Football League, the first of its kind in Australia. We've always had a men's league, but now this year they've started a women's league, which will take place, the whole season will take place before the men's league starts. So every game will be on primetime television on a Friday, Saturday and Sunday night basically. So the attendance of the game was 25,000 people, which is double what the organisers expected everybody to come. There were thousands of people that were locked out of the game because they just didn't have enough room. So the overall television viewership of the game was about 1 million people, which is exactly the same as they would expect for a men's match of the same sport on a Friday night on average. So usually girls in Australia are not allowed to play the sport above the age of 12 because of physical differences and going through puberty, basically. So now there's about 8 teams that will play in the national competition, which will be played ahead of the men's league. This is a historic day for Australian sport and for women's sport, and it's just so exciting to think that little girls will be able to grow up knowing this is the new normal, and they'll just be able to aspire to the exact same levels of fame and celebrity and all those things that come with being a sports person in Australia. So it's just a really exciting day, and just wanted to share it. Thank you.
So do you know what I like about Charlie? I'm going to call her Charlie because I like the nickname Charlie, especially with someone with the name Charlotte. Charlie, I'm going to call you Charlie. Charlie, great breakdown. And the one thing that I do really like about a women's Australian rules football league, and this is going to sound so weird and someone's going to be like, oh, you're never going to make it on Barstool Sports. Well, yeah.
I don't want to make it.
I'm gladly not going to make it there. Is that you don't have to dress them up in bra and underwear in order to make the sport available, such as the Women's NFL League, which is literally called the Lingerie Football League. So yeah, as much as that may be aesthetically pleasing for many people that watch it, and it's good to see women in underwear tackle the shit out of each other and then chug beers when they make a touchdown, all great. But if you actually want to take this sport seriously, not that that sport isn't taken seriously, but when they're running around in their underwear, I don't think it is. So when you have this, which is just another version of a great, athletic, brutal, entertaining sport offered to the opposite gender, you don't have to adjust it. You don't have to adjust. I understand that there is certain rules that are adjusted when it comes to different sports, such as in lacrosse, women's lacrosse, they don't allow as much contact, I believe, than what they do in men's. I would prefer, just allow them to just have full contact because I don't think it's as entertaining when I'm watching it. That's just my views on the sport.
They don't. One of my sisters played lacrosse at Boston University. They just do dirtier shit.
Yeah, I can imagine.
What they do is the bottom of the sticks, the lacrosse sticks, they'll just kind of wear it through. They call it the butt of the stick, so there's a little bit poking out at the bottom. and they will just check that right into your effing ankle. They are dirty.
What is it, Sparta?
Seriously. No. They think, men's lacrosse, you can check each other. It's a little more contact sport. Women's lacrosse, you'll get stabbed.
But here's,
it's insanity.
Here's my question, like, why do you have to adjust it? What makes it different?
Oh, I don't think you should. I think if you wear pads. Well, they don't wear pads either, though. That's the thing. So in men's lacrosse, you have shoulder pads, arm.
Well, give them
something.
shoulder pads. And
no, I agree with you. I agree with you on that. Actually, no, take all pads away completely. Because if you do, like in Australia, women's league football and men's league football, they tackle the right way. There's less head injuries than the NFL because they're not leading with their heads.
Yeah, it's like
there's still graphically bad, brutal injuries that are happening in both football leagues. Don't get me wrong, but like because of it, they're not throwing their bodies like Guardians of the Galaxy at each other.
Yeah, and it's like if you're gonna allow the sport to happen, like the way in the women's UFC, you don't need to adjust anything. Like they can still perform the exact same way as the men's do. It's understandable if there's in the women's NBA, is a 3-point line closer in than what it is in the men's NBA? Or maybe just like
the ball's a little smaller.
Like the way that they do in college, okay, that's fine. Like as long as the rules are still the same way. Like so, if you're gonna allow for Australian rules football, I love that they just allow them to hit with no pads. And I mean, I understand where you might have pads to cover the breast area because that's an impact zone that you don't want to consistently get hit the way men have cups, right? You don't want to get that hit. So that happens. You're going to have to protect those areas that are sensitive to further damage, but it doesn't mean you adjust the sport to completely adhere to a lesser athletic sort of environment when it's not. Like you just allow them to play the sport the same way, and I think it sends a message home. As much as I didn't expect this clip to go as equal rights as it has, I think it's good to bring up because we don't need to have them in their bra and underwear to make it an entertaining sport.
Not at all, and you don't need to shop in Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. Better? No? Really? A little bit?
Can we have another Jacory, another minus? You can only assign points.
That's a good one. Oh, don't shake your
You
head.
just minus them. That's a fail stamp, and that's a -2 points for Jason.